I used to think that God would punish me in certain seasons of my life, but then I came to this realization that throughout those periods, it's just a test, a perseverance to see if you really want what you say, what you want. And it sounds so simplistic, but like falling back to that is important because in every situation that we go through, we tend to forget the most simplistic things. And the one that I recall the most is social media. Social media have been a thing that I've always been trying to figure out, been trying to go viral, get the most views in. And then throughout it, and one time last year, I remember to this day, I was so obsessed with trying to find the solution that I just truly never gave up. And God was like calling me towards that because I knew that I wanted to help millions through God. And that's what really was my why at the end of the day that made me go to get to 20,000 followers, because I know that it was backed by God. And when you have a why so strong like that, it's super important. I remember staying up all day, just trying to figure it out, staying at home, just figuring it out day by day, seeing these successful creators have millions of followers, having thousands of views, and sometimes I would let it destroy me, and I was confusing myself and asking myself if it is even possible. And I felt like a fraud. I felt like I was living in imposter syndrome. And even at one point, I posted this video how to go viral. I posted this video how to go viral, and in my head, I knew that it couldn't work out like that. But then I knew at the same time, like my account wasn't like living to that expectation. But it's crazy because at the time I believed and I was delusional, and then later on I did get the views. And sometimes it is like that. And really, what it was, the turning point was praying and keep doing it. And I think prayer has been a blessing in my life because I'm able to get a why that's bigger than me, something that's really pushing me not just day by day, but pushing me for years, for months, right? And it's that why that like this is a God-driven purpose, and that's why I'm able to keep doing what I'm doing, because I know that it's driven by God. Morning, I prayed about this specific viral video. I know that, like, God, I know that you can make this video viral. And I never told no one about this video till this day, but that video was the most viral video that I ever posted. And to this day, it is, I'm pretty sure. And it's not on my account no more because I archived it. But those are the things, those battles within yourself that no one knows, that no one gets to know about until you talk about it or they talk to you about it. And those are the times that really make your faith unwavering. And those little things that God's been showing up in my life time after time again, that is what really has me to have this faith till this day, because those are the things that really build my confidence in the Lord. And not just because He's been showing up, but how He shows up in my life. Because as sad as it sounds, sometimes we're able to see success through other people's stories, but we don't know what success is in our stories because we don't know what it is to have that in our life. But then God starts showing you that in your life, and then that's why the prayers that you are going through, you're becoming that person through God. The way how God shows up for other people in their life for you to believe is the same thing for you, for them to believe. You are a walking prayer, and someone sees that, and just because someone sees that, they are going to be inspired and motivated to keep going, because you are a reflection of success through God. And that's why God has showed me so much success in my life through others, because He's showing me if I could do that through them, my son, I can do that through you. Just have patience, right? And He was showing me a lot. He was showing me a lot where I just performed and just trusting. I removed habits, remove a version that was not of me, a version of not believing, a version of unfaithfulness, of unbelieving, like pessimistic, right? And He was showing me that through the process, that it's not about achieving what I achieve, but it's about achieving what I achieve and believing that God can show up in my life by not giving up. And a verse that He spoke to me months. And a verse that he's been speaking to me a lot is Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. He was showing me in this job in particular that we get rewarded on the amount of input we put, right? So God's showing me that like your hard work is going to be rewarded again, because sometimes in life or past experience we tend to forget these little things, and especially from a 9-to-5 corporate job, you start realizing that, you know, no matter what you do, you're still going to get a fixed income, right? And God was rewiring in my mind that no, like, Jason, the hard work that you are doing is being recognized. Don't forget that. One of the hardest points of my life was probably like this season of my life, because when you're not being supported at all in externally, then that could really crush you, where you're just in the negatives, when you're just working all the hours, putting your faith, just trusting the process wholeheartedly. That really is the thing that really is making or breaking your faith, because if you keep going and you get success out of it, imagine what else you can go through. Imagine what else you can tell yourself, if I went through this period of time, what else can I go through? And sometimes we give up before we hit the gold mine. For example, in life, you always hear that, man, I was thinking about quitting, but if I didn't quit, I wouldn't be the place I am today. And God has been teaching me that, because it's like once you set a goal in a system, it's not about when, it's about trusting the process, because you're gonna get there. You just don't know how and when, but you become so addicted to the process, to the system, that you know it's possible. And you already seen forms of success by you doing that it's inevitable for you to get more and more and better success from it. And I think the difficult part about that is knowing what to rely on. In those difficult times, if I had relied on the bad, I wouldn't never went through it. I would just quit and give up and call it a day. But the thing that I focused on was the why, the outcome, the God-given purpose, that I know that God has me for a reason. So I'm gonna stick through it and keep pushing day by day. And sometimes too, that's conviction, knowing when to quit or when not to quit. For example, in my life, it's super hard for me to quit, but once you know you don't quit on something that's rewarding, then that in itself is a blessing, because sometimes we don't get rewarded for what we do. And that's the most heartbreaking thing about life, is that how do we manage to keep pushing? And I think my faith is not on the world, it's on God, that I know that all I'm doing right now is for a reason. It's gonna impact me some way, that I'm working for the Lord, that I know at the end of the day, I may not see the results now, but one day I am. So if you're in a position in your life where you're at your lowest, I say pray about it and focus about God. And I want you to hear this and actually believe this, because it's one, not believing it, especially in a difficult time. Like, the only thing that's really gonna get you out of it is God and your mind, whatever you believe in, you know. And that's super important. Invested in not just in how you're gonna get through it, but who you're gonna become out of it. Remember that. Who do I need to become for this result? And it's that simple. The season will not last forever, and you'll be glad for this season, because without it, you wouldn't be able to enjoy the good of life. God reveals your identity and purpose. In those difficult times, He shows you who you really are, who you are at your core, your subconscious beliefs. And that's why they say, whatever is in the mind shall manifest into reality. As a man thinketh, so is he. And God's just revealing what you really are, so you can change it to who you really want to be. at your core belief, if you're like a fat like person or someone that's not disciplined, then God's gonna show that so you can work on that and become a disciplined, fit person that you desire to be. But it's going through those difficult times that makes you the person that you've been praying for. So I tell you, keep praying and keep going. I know this encouraged someone, and I'm grateful because of it, not in an arrogant way. So all the support you guys show helps me out a ton. So subscribe if you found this valuable and turn on your post notifications for the next videos.